Hello everyone, my name of course is Resonant and welcome back to a new video. Now in this video, I need to really stress, this mod is not released. I have done a few of these mod reviews, well not normally reviews, more spotlights on Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord mods, but I need to stress because there are some people that for some reason think that these mods are released when the game isn't even out yet, which is a little bit weird. But yeah, I just need to stress, this mod is not released. It is being worked on, and of course they don't have all the tools to do all the final stuff yet, but ideas have been thrown around, some models have been made, and it is looking really good from the screenshots you will probably see in this video. But yeah, I need to stress this mod is definitely not released yet. Many of you know the reasoning for these little mod videos is to spotlight it. It's for the benefit of the mod developer and you as the consumer, as it gives more promotion to these small developer teams, and it really helps people find out what new mods are going to be coming for the new games that they're looking forward to, and especially Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, whereas I know so many people are really looking forward to that game, and it's going to really help if we know what we're going to expect from the future. This mod is Lord of the Rings Kingdom of Arda. Now this is a mod coming out for Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. It is set in the Lord of the Rings universe 2 years before the Fellowship leaves Rivendell. So this is some of the things that we'll see before the films. Many of you know I have played in Kingdom of Gondor, which was my clan for the Fall of Mordor mod, and I really love Lord of the Rings. Many of you of my viewers love it as well, so I'm really looking forward to this mod. So in this video we'll be going through what this mod is, what it'll be including, and what you can be looking forward to. So the main thing these guys are really trying to do is make this mod as authentic as possible, with factions and characters using all the authentic weapons and armor. Some mods do have some glitches where some weapons and companions and armor are taken from native, but this mod is trying to make it as authentic to Lord of the Rings as possible, so they're going to try and use as little of these as possible, and preferably none at all from what they're saying. It is set in Middle-earth, of course, and that will be the campaign map. I will put a picture up of the campaign map that we can see so far, and I'm really excited to see all the things that will be included in this. There will be custom scenes on the maps, and there will be some new races. These include orcs, goblins, urks, elves, dwarves, wargs, and trolls. Now, coming with these are some very unique additions, which I am really looking forward to. One of these unique additions is the races will differ. For example, not just with appearance, but the elves will be faster genetically, as we know they are light-footed and can be very nimble in battle. Maybe the dwarves will also be slower as well, but with more health. I'm really excited to see what kind of new things that we can see with this. Where can they take this unique addition? I'm very excited to see all the different perks and the disadvantages each race has, and I will definitely be going through them when the mod is released after Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. So along with these races there are factions. Now there are a number of factions, there's actually quite a lot of factions, so I will be going through them now. First one of course is the Kingdom of Gondor. We all know these are the humans. They own Minas Tirith. They are probably one of the most superior races in Middle-earth. They gain a lot of control over many of Middle-earth, and they have a very strong army. We do know though they are the main enemy of Mordor and Isengard. The Kingdom of Rohan will also be included, of course, with their exceptional cavalry force. We have Mordor, we have Isengard, Easterlings of Ruin. They will be split up likely into their separate clans, which is very interesting to see what kind of things we can do with that. Will we have some civil war between the Easterlings? Maybe. That will be very interesting to see. There will also be the Wild Men of Dunland, the Haradrim of the South, the Haven of Umbar, the Khad, the Dol Guldur, the Elves of Lorien, the Elves of Mirkwood, the Dwarves of Erebor, Kingdom of Dale, the Elves of Linden, the Dwarves of Eridlun, and the Orcs of the Misty Mountain. Now, I'm very excited to see all these new factions. This is a lot of factions, and if they're trying to make it as authentic as possible, it could run into a few issues with having them all being authentic to each of their factions and races, with having this amount of factions. But I'm really interested to see how they can do that and what they're going to be able to do. But it will take a lot of time to get all these factions as authentic as possible, but hopefully we can see some sort of work up to that. We may have a few factions to start with, they'll build up those authentically, we'll get them all fleshed out before they start working on the next one, and not have a ton of unfinished factions. That would probably be the worst case scenario here. But that is the factions that we'll be seeing in the new Lord of the Rings mod. Along with these main factions, there are a number of smaller factions. Now these factions just normally flesh out the map. This will give a bit more of a realistic and authentic feel to the world. It'll feel like you're in a world of many races, many people and many factions. Now, just a few of these, because there are a lot of them, are places such as Bree and the Shire. So that's the kind of idea of the kind of minor factions you will be seeing in the mod Kingdom of Ardor. Along with all these new factions, there will of course be very well-known lords and characters from Lord of the Rings. Many of you may know there is a mod for Mount and Blade Warband called Blood in the West. Now, in this mod, you start with the companions of all the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. So you have Frodo, you have Sam, you have Aragorn, and all those lot. Now this is going to be really interesting to see what they can do with the lords and characters from Lord of the Rings. Will it just be the main ones, or will they go more into the lore of Lord of the Rings? Will they see the minor characters, the minor lords? I'm very interested to see that. But I'm sure we'll see a lot of recognisable characters in this mod from the Lord of the Rings world, and I'm very excited to see. What are your thoughts as well? I'd really love to see your thoughts on what lords and companions you'd like to see from Lord of the Rings. If you have any questions about any of these points I'm saying and any of this information I'm telling you, make sure to leave it down below and I will try and get back to you as soon as possible. Once again, if you want to go and check out this mod, there will be a link in the description to the ModDB page. But without that, let's get on to the next point. Now, there will also be many new troop trees and mercenaries added. Many of you know in Mount and Blade Warband, you have mercenaries that you can hire in taverns such as Hired Blades and Mercenary Cavalry. You also have lots of troop trees where you start off with recruits, you can upgrade them to militia or swordsmen, and then you can go down the separate paths. This way you can get the perfect army for your suiting. You can get heavy cavalry, you can get sharpshooter archers, or you can get amazing infantry. Now this is really cool to see. My favourite part about a new mod coming out, especially a Lord of the Rings mod or a world that I know and love. I love to see what new troops and new factions they can get in. So seeing the new troop trees really excited me, and I hope it does the same to you. Now these new troop trees and mercenaries will be very, very interesting to see. Now on screen you will be able to see some of the troop trees of Gondor and the elven troop trees as well, and as you can see they're trying to flesh out this mod as much as possible while keeping it authentic to the Lord of the Rings universe. You have all these different types of troops, all with their own armor and skills, their own weapons and their own ways to fight. Now this will be really interesting to see how people build their armies. One thing that I like to do in the Blood in the West mod for Mount and Blade Warband was I would get a ton of elven archers, since elves were very good bowmen. And I would also get a lot of Gondor infantry, since they had their big shields and they were very skilled with swords. And then of course I would get the Rohirrim as my cavalry. This way I had a good all-round army using the best parts from each faction. And this is probably what I'm going to do in this new mod when it is released, and I'd love to see what your thoughts are down below as well. What do you think about these new troop trees, and what troops would you like to see that haven't been mentioned? Now of course, coming with these new troop trees and mercenaries, we will see new weapons and armor. Now with these weapons and armor we'll see stuff such as the very famous cleaver type swords of the orcs, and maybe we'll see some very special swords that we might be able to find that are more rare ones, like Frodo's sword. I would be really interested to see that. And of course we'll have the normal armor that we have in the Lord of the Rings universe. My favourite armour personally is the Gondorian armour. It just looks so cool, especially when you have a whole shield wall of Gondor infantry. Their armour is absolutely amazing. Something about it reminds me of the Roman legionary armour. I'm not completely sure what it is, but to me that is probably my favourite armour in Lord of the Rings. But I'm really interested to see what kind of new weapons and armor they can have in this universe. I'm sure it's not just going to be the main ones that we can think about. Maybe there'll be a lot in the backlog of lore of Lord of the Rings that they will be able to add into this. It has been shown that they have been doing a lot of research into this mod, so I'm really excited to see what they can come up with. Of course, they will be adding in new mounts as well, so it won't just be your normal horses as cavalry. Maybe we'll get some wargs that we can ride on, and maybe even we might be able to get the elephants that we see in Return of the King of the third Lord of the Rings film. I'm really excited to see if we can actually get that. That would be amazing. Now, of course, some of the minor things that will be added in are some banners. We'll have the custom banners that we have in most mods, and of course they can have different banners. Maybe you'll be able to create your own banners in Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. So this will be really exciting to see. I'm very excited to see what mod developers can do with all the new features in Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. And of course there will be the different companions. I presume with these companions you'll be able to have some companions that we've seen from the film, maybe not specifically from the Fellowship of the Ring, since this is set 2 years before, but I'm sure there will be some familiar faces showing up, maybe even people such as Gandalf that we can recruit into our party and he can help us on our quests. Now, talking about quests, there will be custom quests added in. As we all know, in Mount & Blade Warband we have all these cool custom quests that we can do. We can go and deliver things for kings, we can go and kill certain people, and this will be coming back in Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. And coming in with the Lord of the Rings scene, it'll be really interesting to see what kind of custom quests that we can bring in. Leave your comments down below on your ideas of some custom quests that can be brought in the Lord of the Rings world. Like I said before, these mod developers work so hard on preparing for this game. We're all sitting here really excited for the release of Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, and some people are going to the extent of planning things so that they can get this mod out as soon as possible. Now, they have said that after Bannerlord is released, they're not completely sure when this mod will be ready, but they can say about maybe 6 or so months. Now, of course, there will be testing along the way, and if I get the chance to have a look at this mod, I will definitely inform you guys on it, and we'll do some more reviews on it. If you're really interested to see some sort of mod interview for this with the developers, I can try and organise that if you leave your comments down below. If you leave a like on this video, I know that you're really excited about this mod, and I'll try and get more info about it. I can maybe do an interview with the developers to put that on the channel. But other than that, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to leave your suggestions down below, and once again, can I stress, this mod is not released. Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord is not released. These people have been preparing for months and will be continuing to be preparing for when it is released, where they can get straight into the editor's tools and they can start working on this mod to get it out to you as soon as possible. The good thing about this with Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord is it's already been said that there will be a lot of tools for the developers. This means that small mod developers and teams can start making up ideas and they can start working on some of the models and concepts for their new mods. This way they'll be able to get mods out as soon as possible, so I'm really excited to see that. But once again, remember to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. You know what to do if you didn't. But subscribe to my channel for more content on Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord and Warband and games of the like. If you have any ideas for videos, remember I have a Steam group. There'll be a link in the description. You can go on there and you can post suggestions on the discussion page. So if you want to do that, if you want to see some of your suggestions and videos, then definitely do that. But until then, guys, I will see you in the next one.